Hey guys, so we have been so engulfed in basketball wives and their viral moments. But one thing that is not very clear, and this is something that I've been wanting to talk about. And since we've been talking about basketball wives, let's just go ahead and bring it up. Malaysia Pargo, or should I say Lakeysha Pargo, because Lakeysha is actually her real name. Was she allegedly pregnant by Jamal Harrison Bryant, y'all? And this is something that these Atlanta streets have been saying for some time now. But since we're talking about everything else basketball wives, I want to know, was Malaysia Pargo pregnant by Jamal Harrison Bryant? And you guys already know the procedures. I need you all to make sure you like, share, and make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you are subscribed to the channel, that's great. But what you need to do is go ahead and enable your bell so you don't miss out on a video.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Malaysia Pargo finally filed for divorce against her husband, Janero Pargo. This was back in May 2014. Now, it is stated that when she did file for divorce, it looks like they were pretty much separated for about 2 years. Now, Malaysia did file for divorce in LA County Superior Court, and she cited irreconcilable differences. Now, that is just the term that people use when they just don't want to put their business all out in the streets. Now, during the time she had filed for divorce, they did have three children. At the time, the children were aged 7 years old, and then she had a set of twins, which were three. And we can say that one is probably old, if not I'm sorry, one is probably an adult or a young adult or somewhere along the lines of 17 years old, and then you would have either 13 or 14-year-old twins. Now, at the time, Malaysia was asking for sole legal and physical custody, allowing her then husband to be able to get visitation. Now, at the time, Malaysia did want her ex-husband, or now then ex-husband, to pay her child support, spousal support, and also her lawyer's fee. Now, in the documents, it stated that Malaysia stated that they were married back in 2006, but then they separated in December 27th of 2012. As I previously stated, it seems like when she did ultimately file for divorce, they had already been living separate. Now, there were a bunch of things going back on social media with the two of them, but ultimately they were granted a divorce. Janero was supposed to pay her child support, spousal support, and also her attorney fees. Now, y'all know kids are not cheap. So, what Malaysia did state is that spousal support stopped, child support stopped, and she stated that she was not getting anything for her children, and ultimately she was working herself, just doing multiple jobs, and she was exhausted. Now, I feel like when you get married, or even if you're in a serious relationship, especially when you have children, I don't think you think that the person that you're going to marry or that you're in a relationship would actually abandon your children, because it seems like that is exactly what happened here. Because Malaysia said that after 2 years, she stopped receiving her support. She did not receive her child support. Did not receive her spousal support. She stated she didn't receive anything. And also, what she stated in effort to keep her children living the same way they were living when she was married to her now ex-husband, she took on more jobs and she was just working, working, working. And one of those jobs was, obviously, she was on Basketball Wives. Once she moved back to the Atlanta area, she was traveling back and forth to LA. Now, based on what I was able to find online, it stated that Malaysia was awarded $15,380 per month in child support, and therefore another $7,500 in spousal support. But Malaysia said after 2 years, she didn't receive anything. Not only did she say that she didn't receive any monetary support, she said that she didn't receive any support because it seems like her ex husband was just not involved nor concerned. Janero Pargo was accused by Malaysia at the time of being a cheater, of not coming home, lying, saying he was locked in the club and therefore didn't return home. This dude was full of nothing but lies. But not only was he a cheater, Malaysia indicated that this man stopped taking care of his children. Not only did he stop taking care of his children, he was not even there for his children. And back then, if you would Google him, or even if you Google him now and put 2012 in the search engine, it says this man was worth $4.5 million. A man that's worth $4.5 million couldn't even pay 15K in child support. So you know where that leaves the mom, because it is hard out here trying to take care of some kids, especially when the pappies ain't doing nothing. But what we have learned about Janero is that he wants to live a very private life. He has never made any appearance on the Basketball Wives. And ever since Janero and Malaysia has parted ways in their nasty divorce battle that lasted roughly 2 years, there has been no mention of Janero dating anyone. Now, if you guys want to get technical, Janero's Instagram page only shows minor highlights of his basketball career and his work as a coach. And as of late, many users they've been trolling them, y'all, because they like, ninja, why won't you take care of your children? Now, Janero has yet to respond because it seems like this guy just wants to live the private life. But again, he has never responded to any of Malaysia's claims that he just has not been taking care of his children. And listen, y'all, I don't know how many single mothers are out there now. That is not an excuse, but I'm going to tell you this. If you are a single mother taking care of any one, two, three, four, five, I don't know how many children you have. It is hard, honey. And let me just break it down for you, because everything has to be bigger. You have to get a bigger house, a bigger car. You got more utility bills, more this, more that. So anybody who has children, who has not had to increase their expenses, I want you to send me a message and let me know how in the hell are you doing it. So, with all that Malaysia has been through, hey, any man that's coming through that's like, hey, we can help you monetary, I can understand why she would be all ears to say, okay, well, this takes us to what this video is really about. Now, we know Malaysia was obviously divorced with 3 children, and we know her deadbeat ex husband was not doing anything. And Malaysia trying to provide that lifestyle, that basketball player lifestyle, but she's not a basketball player. She's not married anymore to a basketball player, nor is she getting the funds that she was getting when she was married to that basketball player. It was in Malaysia's interview with Carlos King that she told the world that she had just previously suffered from a miscarriage. Not only was everybody up in an uproar, people like, girl, who is your boyfriend? Who you dating? So it seems like whatever relationship she was in or getting out of, it was one of those hush hush where you know how it is. We mess around, but we can't be seen together. You can't tell nobody about me. I will provide for you financially. But it seems like somehow a baby was created. And it seems like that ultimately that is what probably ended the relationship because it seems like allegedly that people were saying that she was pregnant by Pastor Jamal Harrison Bryant. Now, this is alleged, but everybody is saying that this is true. And again, Malaysia never told us who she was in a relationship with, which I get some people want to be private, but girl, at the point that you creating whole children and you want to keep a relationship that private, it could mean that's because either he's in another relationship with someone else or that pretty much is what that can only mean because I don't understand why it needs to be that secretive.
And I was in a stupid relationship that was taking me through it. I had a miscarriage during the situation.
You had a miscarriage on your last season?
Yeah. I was so stressed out.
You were pregnant?
I was definitely pregnant. What else? My mom was sick. I was going through it. And when I say that I was so broken, when I say that a real friend would have been able to look a person in their eyes and tell by the way that they speak, the way that they move, the spunk that they have, that this ain't the time.
The streets of Atlanta were saying that Jamal Harrison Bryant allegedly was the pastor that had put up a huge sum of cash to purchase Malaysia a home. Now, Malaysia did take to her social media saying how happy she was to have finally bought a property on her own. During the time that Malaysia had purchased this property, she had taken to her social media and she was extremely happy about the thought of actually being able to purchase a property all in her own name and for her kids. She stated that she had finally settled in Atlanta and she was able to buy her property. She was very happy about it. And she was really happy, is what I can remember. But it seems like that was very short lived because it seems like after being in a property maybe a year, it had been speculated that the property was in fact in foreclosure. Now, allegedly, Jamal Harrison Bryant was the person who gave her a big chunk of money for this particular property, but we know he didn't pay for it in cash because if so, it wouldn't be foreclosed on. But we know when she did appear on Basketball Wives, that was the topic of conversation and she did not want to discuss it. But that property did, in fact, go to foreclose. Now, this particular post was from the Real Estate Insider. And what was being said was they're referring to Malaysia by saying Compton Beauty, Malaysia Pargo, known for her role on the reality show Basketball Wives, moved into this beautiful Alpharetta home in late 2020, proudly documented it on social media as her first solo purchase, in which I had already previously stated that she was elated and very happy about being able to purchase a property on her own. And as I stated, rumors quickly surfaced that she lost the home due to foreclosure. Now, I also stated that there were rumors that a popular preacher helped her buy this mansion, and the home was purchased in July 2021 for $1 million. Now, guys, it's only 2024 and she's already lost the property. Now, the information that I was able to obtain stated that the value of the property was about $2.1 million. Now, it seems like the property was sold for a little bit over, I believe, 1 million, if I'm correct. But the information also stated that the property had 7 bathrooms and I believe 6 or 7 bedrooms. Now I know she has 3 children, and then for herself that will be 4. But this property actually had 7 bedrooms. So, it looks like the property was eventually sold. So instead of letting it go into full-fledged foreclosure, it seems that Malaysia was able to sell the property. But the streets have always stated that the pastor Jamal Harrison Bryant was in fact the person who had given her the money for this property. Obviously the property wasn't paid for in cash, because if that was the case it would not have went into foreclosure. But what happened in these two relationship that he I guess stopped paying or stopped giving her money? But I don't think that's something we need to think about for too long, because we have saw this guy run through women after women after women. And frankly, I don't see why any woman would take this dude seriously. But again, we don't know if this is true, but the streets have stated that this is in fact who Malaysia was involved with. And I thought it was very interesting that Carlos King did not ask her one time who she was involved with, which leads me to know that maybe he already knew. But the fact that he never asked her that question really made for a really terrible interview, because when we watch these interviews, these are questions that come up in our mind. But the fact that he didn't answer it just lets me know that he probably knew already. So y'all got to let me know what you guys think in the comments. So what I'm going to do is at the end of this video, I'm going to show you guys the video that I was able to obtain. And it shows the inside of her property. It's about 3 minutes long. So you guys, feel free to watch it to the end if you like. And guys, don't forget to like, share, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And also go ahead and hit your bell notification so you do not miss out on a video.